Hello everyone! Today's video is a head-to-head battle between two popular brands in the pastel world, Derwent and Cretacolor. If you've ever wondered which pastel pencil packs, the most punch, has the richest pigment, and is easier to work with, stick around because I'm about to dive deep into this comparison. Both Derwent and Cretacolor are well known for their high-quality art supplies, and their pastel pencils are no exception. But which one is better for your artwork? Today, I am going to test them in a few key categories: pigment strength, blending, smoothness, and how well they handle details. First impressions and packaging. Let's start by taking a quick look at each brand's packaging and first impressions. First up, we have Derwent. Their packaging is sleek with a thin case that's pretty sturdy. It holds the pencil snugly and the colors are clearly visible, great for organization. Now, Cretacolor. It's a similar setup with a sturdy tin, though the presentation is slightly different. Cretacolor tends to have a more traditional, minimalistic feel to its branding. Both brands have a similar professional appearance, but we're here for performance, not just looks. Let's take a quick look at the prices. Derwent pencils tend to be a bit more affordable, especially if you're buying a larger set, while Cretacolor leans slightly on the pricier side, but with both, you're getting a high-quality product, so it really comes down to preference and budget. Both brands offer excellent quality, but if you're just beginning your journey with pastel pencils, Derwent is probably the more budget-friendly choice. Their pencils provide good performance at a reasonable price, making them ideal for artists who are just starting out or want to experiment without breaking the bank. On the other hand, if you're ready to invest in something a bit more premium, Cretacolor might be the better pick. While they come at a slightly higher price point, the extra cost can be well worth it if you're looking for pencils that deliver top-notch performance and a more refined experience. So, if you're willing to splurge a little, Cretacolor is a brand worth considering. Testing the pigment strength. Now, let's get to the good stuff. Testing the pigment strength, I am going to start with some dark red pastel pencils and see which one is richer, darker, and more intense. Then, I will do the same for lighter color pencils to see which can produce the brightest highlights. Alright, here's Derwent. Let's put it to the test and see how dark this red pigment can really get with just a single layer of pressure. Okay, not bad at all. You can see it's already got some nice depth to it and it lays down smoothly. The color is pretty dark, but we're not done yet. We'll do a proper comparison in just a second to really see how it holds up against the other brand. For now though, I'm impressed with how easily it went down on the paper, especially with such minimal pressure. It looks promising. Let's try Cretacolor's dark red and see how it stacks up. Look at that. Cretacolor's red feels noticeably richer right off the bat. The color has this deep, velvety quality even with a single stroke, and the pigment seems to lay down more consistently than the Derwent. But there's something else. While the color is bold, the pencil's lead is definitely firmer. You can feel it as you're applying pressure. It doesn't crumble as easily or feel as soft under the hand, which might be a plus if you're going for finer details or want more control over your strokes. It's holding its point well, so that firmness could be useful for sharper lines, though it might not be as buttery for blending. Let's see how it performs when we layer it a bit more. Let's put them side by side to get a closer comparison. Alright, from what I'm seeing here, Cretacolor definitely has a slight edge in terms of depth and richness. But honestly, Derwent isn't far behind at all. It's still got a great dark tone and holds up really well in terms of coverage, especially considering the softer feel of the lid. Let's test them out with the lighter colors now and see how they hold up. But as I start layering, I can already feel the difference. The Derwent feels noticeably creamier. It glides over the paper with less resistance and seems to build up layers more effortlessly, which could be a big plus if you're aiming for smooth transitions or blending in your work. It's soft but still controlled, making it easy to work with, especially if you're doing detailed layering or adding highlights. Now, Cretacolor is also sharp and vivid with its light tones, no doubt about that, but the lid feels firmer. As I try to layer, it resists a bit more, and the strokes feel less fluid compared to Derwent. The color payoff is still great, but it's not as forgiving when you're trying to build up softer layers. That firmness might give you more precision though, which could be useful for certain techniques. Both Derwent and Cretacolor offer bright, vivid light colors, but Derwent's shades feel creamier and more intense, making them easier to blend and layer. Cretacolor provides a sharper, crisper finish thanks to its firmer lid, but it can be harder to layer. Blending test. Now let's test how well these pencils blend. Blending is crucial in pastel work, especially when creating smooth transitions and gradients. Here's Derwent. It blends smoothly, and the transition between yellow and red is really nice and seamless. You can easily see how the shades merge without any harsh lines, which makes it perfect for achieving soft gradients. The pigment doesn't smudge too much either, so you've got plenty of control over where the color goes and how it stays in place. That's a big plus, especially if you're working on detailed areas and want to avoid unwanted smears. Now for Cretacolor, and it's a bit of a different story, the blending is a little more challenging compared to Derwent. You can still get a decent transition between yellow and red, but it requires more effort to smooth things out. It's not as buttery, so you might find yourself working harder to get that soft, even gradient. Another thing I noticed is that the pigment tends to lift off the paper more easily, which can be frustrating when you're trying to build layers or keep everything consistent. If you're not careful, you could end up removing some color while blending, which isn't ideal for larger, smoother areas. Derwent clearly takes the win for blending. Its smoothness and control make it perfect for blending heavy work, allowing for seamless transitions with minimal effort. The pigment stays put, making it easier to maintain consistency. Cretacolor, on the other hand, tends to lift off the paper more, making blending a bit trickier. If smooth blending is key, Derwent is the better choice. Next up, let's see how these pencils handle fine details and line work. This is where precision really comes into play. I'll be testing both the yellow and red pencils from each brand to see how well they perform when you need those clean, sharp lines. Cretacolor feels firmer in texture, which helps achieve super fine lines essential for detailed work. This firmness allows for precise application, making it easier to navigate small spaces and intricate patterns. This characteristic is also beneficial if you prefer a pencil that doesn't smudge easily. With less risk of unwanted smudging, you can focus on working on difficult patterns without worrying about pigment transfer or blurring. Derwent is holding up really well here. The pencil strikes an impressive balance between softness and sharpness, making it versatile for various applications. Despite its softer lid, which typically lends itself to a smoother laydown, it's still managing to maintain its point effectively. This means you can achieve detailed work without sacrificing the rich pigment that Derwent is known for. Overall, it's performing admirably, allowing for both delicate line work and more expressive strokes with ease. In conclusion, both Cretacolor and Derwent excel in fine detail work but cater to different preferences. Cretacolor's firmer texture allows for precise applications and reduces smudging, making it ideal for intricate designs. Meanwhile, Derwent offers a balanced softness and sharpness, delivering smooth applications without sacrificing pigment richness. Ultimately, your choice will depend on whether you prioritize control and precision or versatility and ease in your artwork. So, after testing both Derwent and Cretacolor pastel pencils across pigment strength, blending, detail work, and durability, which one comes out on top? Well, it's a close race. Derwent definitely wins in terms of blending, ease of use, and durability, making it a great all-rounder, especially for beginners or artists who need a pencil that performs well in different situations. But Cretacolor has its strengths too. It's got that rich, deep pigment that really stands out, especially in darker tones, and it's perfect for artists who prioritize intense color payoff over flexibility in blending. It depends on your style and what you're looking for in a pastel pencil. If you like softer pencils with bold pigment, go for Cretacolor. If you prefer something more balanced and durable, Derwent might be your new go-to. That's it for today's ultimate pastel pencil showdown. I hope this comparison gave you a clearer view of both brands and their performance. Which one will you be adding to your art supplies? Let me know in the comments which brand you prefer or if there's another pastel pencil you think I should try. If you found this video helpful, please like it and subscribe for more art tips, product comparisons, and tutorials. There's plenty more content on the way, so you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.